Hello and welcome back to the Dante in a Year podcast. My name is Danny Fitzpatrick. Let's continue with Dante's Paradiso, Canto 22. Steeped in wonder, I turned myself to my guide, as a little one who ever rushes back to her in whom he most confides. And she, as a mother who swiftly succors her son, pale and panting, with her voice, which usually disposes him well, said to me, "Do you not know that you are in heaven? Do you not know that heaven is all holy, and that which is done here comes of good zeal? How the song has so transmuted you, and me in my smiling, you can consider a moment, since the cry has so moved you, in that if you'd understand their prayer, you would by now have noted the vengeance that you'll see in advance of your death. The sword here above doesn't cut in frenzy nor at length, though it appears so to him who awaits it in trembling or desire. But turn back now toward the others, for you will see many illustrious spirits, if you render your gaze as I say." As pleased her, I returned my eyes, and I saw 100 small spheres which together more embellished each other with mutual rays. I was as he who in himself represses the point of desire and doesn't attempt his question, as he fears it's too much. And the greatest and most luminous of those pearls pressed ahead to make my will content concerning himself. Then within him I heard, "Should you see as I the charity that burns among us, you would have expressed your conception. But so that you might not reach your end late with waiting, I will make my reply to that thought which you hold in reserve. That mountain on whose slope Cassino sits was once frequented upon its summit by a people deceived and ill-disposed, and I am the one who first bore up to them the name of him who drew down to earth the truth that so sublimates us here. And such grace rained its light on me that I drew back the villages all around from the impious cult that seduced the world. All these other fires were contemplative men, incensed of that heat that brings holy flowers and fruits to be born. Here is Macarius, here is Romualdus, here are my brothers who fixed their feet within the cloister and kept their hearts resolved. And I to him, the affection which you show in speaking with me, and the good semblance which I see and note in all your ardor, have as much dilated my faith as the sun spreads the rose when it's come to the fullness of its power. So I pray you, and you, Father, make me certain, if I might receive such grace, that I might see you with your image uncovered." At which he, "Brother, your high desire will be fulfilled in the ultimate sphere above, where all desires, even mine, are fulfilled. There all our desiring is perfected, mature, and entire. In that above is each part there where it ever was. For it is not in a place, nor set upon poles, and our stair passes up to it, so that it's unveiled to your vision. The patriarch Jacob saw the upper part extend so high above when it appeared to him so charged with angels. But now no one parts his feet from the earth to ascend it, and my rule has remained for the waste of the paper. The walls which used to be cloisters are made caves, and the cowls made sacks to be filled with rotten flour. But such grave usuries not raised against the pleasure of God, as much as that fruit that makes the hearts of monks so foolish. For anything the church guards is all for the people who ask it for God, not for parents or for another more brutish. The flesh of mortals is so bland that good beginnings below can't suffice from the birth of the oak to the bearing of acorns. Peter began without gold, without silver, and I with prayer and with fasting, and Francis humbly founded his convent. And if you regard the beginning of each, then look again at how far it's off course. You will see brown made of white. Truly the Jordan turned back upon itself, and the sea in flight when God willed was more marvelous to see than the suckers here. Thus he spoke to me, and then gathered back among his college, and the college strained together. Then, as a wind, all whirled up above. The sweet lady pressed me after them up that stair with a single sign, so did her power overwhelm my nature. Nor ever there below where one mounts and descends naturally was there so rapid a motion as could equal my flight. that I one day return, reader, to that devout triumph for which I often weep my sins and strike my breast, you'd not have set and drawn your finger from flame so swiftly as I saw the sign that follows Taurus and was within it. O glorious stars, O light pregnant with great power, in which I recognize all my genius, whatever it might be, with you was born, and within you is hidden, the one who is father of all mortal life, when I first felt the Tuscan air. And then, when I was lavished with grace to enter in the high wheel that turns you, I was ordained to your region. Devoutly now my soul breathes sighs to you, to gather strength for the hard past that draws it to itself. You are so close to the ultimate being, began Beatrice, that you ought to keep your eyes clear and acute. And so, before you're more within, gaze back below, and see what worlds are already spread beneath your feet, so that your heart, as much as it may, will present itself joyous to the triumphant throng that comes elated into this ethereal round. With vision I returned through all these 7 spheres, and I saw this globe such that I smiled on its little semblance. And that counsel that calls it the least, I approve as best, and whoever thinks on another realm can truly be called upright. I saw the daughter of Latona inflamed without that shadow that was the cause of my once believing her rare and dense. The aspect of your son, Hyperion, I sustained there, and I saw how Maia and Dione move in a circle in his vicinity. Then the temperance of Jove appeared to me between the Father and the Son, and thus the variance they make of their places was clear to me. And all the 7 showed me how great they were, and how swift, and how they are in distinct domains. The flower bed that makes us so fierce, as I was wheeling with the eternal twins, all appeared to me from the hills to the mouth. After that, my eyes turned back to those lovely ones. Thanks for joining me for this episode of the Dante in a Year podcast. See you next time for Dante's Paradiso, Canto 23.